Thank you, Doug. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. So my name is Thomas, as Doug mentioned, and I work for Agencia Global. So today, I'm just going to present to you a booking platform for those who don't know it. We are an air consolidator, and we have a booking platform for travel agents with great content and great tool that we'll go over. As Doug mentioned, we are also giving away to some attendants, to an attendant, two round-trip tickets to Europe, courtesy of Air Europa. Air Europa is our partner on this webinar. They were gracious enough to give us the tickets because they really want us to help them promote very aggressive promotion that they have going on. I'm just going to show you this for a quick second. It's their time to fly promotion. They have great prices to Europe from JFK and Miami. So that's why we're going to show you why the product is a great option for you, for your customers. So without further ado, I'm just going to start the presentation. So here is basically the homepage of Agencia Global. As you can see, it's very simple. Here I'm in the master agent, so basically I will be the owner of the agency. So you can see, for instance, here all your agents, information about your agencies, all your bookings. What's important here is that, as you can see, you can immediately click here to book flights, which is something I'm going to do in a few seconds, or car rentals. Right below that, I'm going to draw your attention to this part. This is the panel with the booking requiring attention. So as of right now, as you can see, I have no booking that require my attention for the moment. But any issues such as schedule change, cancellation, or anything that you require your attention, as it's called, will be featured here. You will also receive a notification via email, but as soon as you connect onto Agencia, you will see it right here because it's very important. Right below that, we do have news regarding Agencia, so about new tools, new features, etc. It's no promotion, just tools about Agencia. The latest that we launched at Agencia University, which is an educational tool to tell you more about airlines, products, and how to sell them to your customers. So without further ado, let's just start the booking to show you how Agencia really works. So very simple enough. Here is the flight search. As you can see, we have 3 ways to book a flight, either a round trip, which is most normal way. You can also book a one-way trip if you want, or multi-city. Currently, multi-city accept up to 5 cities pairing. So here's how to book it. For this particular booking, for today's demonstration, I'm just going to do a round trip because it's like the most normal way. So as you can see, so here, for instance, we would do JFK to, let's say, Madrid. Let's say we're booking the flight that one lucky tenant might win today, courtesy of Air Europa, since it's their hub. Here you have a currency selector. So for American agents, obviously you might prefer American dollars, but it's not only a currency selector, it's also a content selector. So Agencia has a lot of content in Canada and in the US as well, different content. So if you want to access different content, and maybe more content, you just click on the country you're in. So for instance, here in our case, since we want a flight from out of JFK in New York, we should just click on the US dollars. You always have the option to get the prices in Canadian dollars later if you choose to. Here we also have the passenger. So currently Agencia accepts up to 9 passengers on 1 PNR. So you can divide and break them down in between adults, children, infants on laps or on seats, depending on what you need. You can also choose a booking class if you want. Here I'm just going to leave this as all because we want to show you as many results as possible. We also offer the option to, we also by default give you the option to have multi-tickets. Multi-ticket is basically just 2 one-way tickets that we put together to give you sometimes a more competitive price. It's an option that we offer. So, but if you want a regular round trip from airlines, just click here to disable. Again, I'm going to leave it on just to show you more options, to show you how much content we have, but it is an option. We also have the preferred airline options. So if, for instance, you want to search for a particular airline, so let's say Air Europa in our case, and either type the name of the airline or their airline code. Both work, again. Even though we are promoting them today, let's just keep everything open so that we have as many options as possible. So now, obviously, you also have to book a date. So it's something you will have to figure out with your customers, obviously. But here we go. So once you have everything set up, pretty basic stuff, you just search flights. So now, once I do that, Agencia is basically going to run through the GDS for 15 to 20 seconds. You have time to check the dates to make sure you haven't made a mistake. It also gives me time to tell you more about Air Europa. As I was mentioning, they currently have a very aggressive sale, so you will find very aggressive promotion from them in prices, which might help you book more flights to Europe if you're interested, if your customers are interested. But very importantly, today they really wanted to share with you a new promotion that they have going with us exclusively, which is a 5% increase on commissions on their flights. So it's something that might interest you. That's why we really wanted to share it with you today. So once you land on the result page, the first thing you see is basically a recap of your search with all the parameters that you selected. So here we have the USD, the currency we selected. You have the outbound flight with the route and the date. Same for the inbound flight. You have the breakdown of your passengers. So here 4 adults. Then the second thing that you can see is the carrier matrix. So basically here you have all the airlines ordered in ascending order of price, and also in number of stops. So direct, 1 stop, and 2+ stops. I'll draw your attention to the color code, because as you can see in green is going to be the overall cheapest price on the matrix, and in blue will be the cheapest price on the row. So for instance, for 1-stop flights will be this multi-ticket option. But here in green would be the overall cheapest. So here in this particular case, it's Air Europa fare. Now and all the available flights are slightly below, as you can see here. Again, ordered in ascending order of price. So and all the information is broken down by carrier. So here, Air Europa, the type of fare, whether it's published or net fare, RBD, the price per adult or per passenger, and the grand total. You also have here a little link for the luggage. So if you want to see what's the luggage policy, it's basically, it opens a new tab with a link to the website on the page on their luggage policy, so you can know exactly what you are getting to give all the information. All the information to your customers. But before we actually select the flight that we want, I just want to show you a couple of tools that we do offer you when you are going through your flight search, because sometimes it's not as easy. The first thing is the flexible day matrix, as you can see here. So if you open this, as you can see here, we have a lot of options. So in the middle here in gray is our current day, the current dates that we selected earlier. So we did select the Thursday, February 13, and Saturday 22. So this is the price. Everything in green around are in shades of green are cheaper options if your customers, your clients are flexible on the dates. So you would have different dates. We add and subtract 3 days to the current date to give you again more options. And the darker shade of green is going to be the overall cheapest fare on the matrix again. So again, and if, as you can see here, if I hover over this price, for instance, you can see that it becomes a finger, and if I were to click here, it would run a new search with these new parameters of dates. But for the purpose of our demonstration, we're not going to do it. It's just to show you another example to give you, more options when you are talking to your customers. You also have a filter search result, because as you can see here, we have lots and lots of results. So maybe you just want to go for the cheapest fare, but you might also want to filter your results. So you can filter them by fare type, whether it's a published fare or net fare. If you want, type of fare families. If you want, let's say we want to remove 2 stops or more because it's way too many for a trip to Europe because it's not that far. You can also change some connecting airports, departure times if you have some preference, or if your customer do, flight duration, overall flight duration, and ticket type. And let's say in this case, we also want a direct flight. If I apply the filter, it's obviously going to filter the results. And as you can see, it reduced the amount of information with only the fares that follow those parameters. So now that we saw that, let's say we can just view flight to see the options that we have. So if I show you this, as you can see here, all the information is, so currently you have the seats remaining, you have the flight number, obviously, the RBD, the segment, here it's only one because it's a direct flight, the departure time, the arrival time, the flight duration, and here, the little eye, the blue eye, if I click on here, it shows the fare roll. So Agencia will pull directly from the GDS, so that in case no one is here to give you the information, because it's the weekends, late at night, no matter what, you will always have the information straight from the GDS. So if you need any information regarding this particular fare, just click on this and you will have it for a customer. As you can see also at the same time, when I click here, our commission calculator automatically calculated the commission you are bound to make if you are to book this particular fare for the grand total. So you have here the breakdown per person with the base fare, taxes, and total, commission, and finally grand total, again broken down by type of passenger, base fare, etc. So let's say we are pretty happy here. Before I forget, I'm actually very sorry. As you can see here, we only have one option, but this is our fare family option. And actually, if I click here, I might have more, and I don't. But here, if I hover here, you can see what's a charge and what's offered or not. It's our fare family too. So when you have more options, you can just hover and see what's available for you if you want to get an upgrade for a customer. Here in particular, it's a very cheap fare. So Air Europa doesn't offer anything particular, any upgrades, but it's an option for other flights. But again, let's say it's the fare that you think will suit your customers. You can just click on book. And right now, Agencia is basically making sure that, again, the seats are available in the GDS. And you can also have a recap of the flight and all the parameters that you previously selected to make sure that you haven't made any mistakes. It usually takes 5 to 10 seconds. Now, again, you have a recap of everything that you selected to make sure that you haven't made any mistakes and that everything is good with departure, arrival of the outbound flight, the details, flight numbers, RBD, flight duration. If you forgot to do it earlier, you do have the option to see what's included with, again, the link, but we also give you, if you hover over it, what's actually included or not. In this case, nothing is included. No bags are included. Same for the inbound flight. You also have the details of the fare families. And here we go. Now, it's the classic part of filling your customers' information. I'm obviously not going to do it to not waste any of your time, because it's not that interesting. But it's where you're going to do. So I'm just going to autofill everything, and as you can see, Agencia is just going to do it automatically. It's going to take a few seconds. I'm sorry, but I guess it's just going to give me. There you go. So as you can see, all the names are automatically filled for the 4 passengers. But here's the very cool features that we created for you. So here's the price breakdown. You have here the commission that you're bound to make. Here you have the price broken down per passenger. So as you can see here, per passenger, type of passenger, the base fare, the taxes and fees, the subtotal, and the grand total of the fare. As you can see here, everything is charged on Air Europa's merchant account, which is fair. And here is the total agency payout that you are bound to make with this particular fare right now. Now, you might want to, make some commissions. So if you add your own commission, so obviously we offer the option to do so. So if you click, if you look at this here, you can see that the little interrogation point gives you basically what Air Europa's allow you to put on their merchant account and what Agencia Global gives you in terms of option. So you can see that Air Europa doesn't allow for any commission on their merchant account. But let's say you still want to make your commission, so you want to make $100. Commission this. So now we automatically add servicing fee, but this is the total markup that you will add. Now, as you might have seen, some stuff moved around and changed a bit. Indeed, your markup was added, divided by the 4 passengers, some service fee, and for a new total. But what we changed is I'm going to draw your attention here to the charges on the customer's credit card. Is that now you still have the same fare as you had before on Air Europa's merchant account, but you now also have an extra $103 on Agencia Global's merchant account. Why is that? It's because, as you saw earlier, Air Europa doesn't allow for an extra commission on their merchant account, but we do, obviously. We allow to, in this case, $296, I believe. But that's an extra fee on your customer's credit card, right? And it's something that you would have to explain maybe to your customer. So what we do offer in terms of option is here in the pricing strategy. As you can see, there is a little explanation, but basically, by default, it's always selected on lowest price. What is it? What does it mean? It means that it's the lowest price available on Agencia Global with this configuration, with this commission, this fare, etc. But we have another option. The other option is single charge. Now, I'm going to click on this and you're going to see that a lot of things move around. If I click on single charge, as you can see, the price here increased a bit. The service fee increased by a decent amount. But if I'm going to draw attention to the charges on the customer's credit card. Now you have $0 on Air Europa's merchant account and everything on Agencia Global's merchant account. So what happened is that obviously we are taking care of the whole charge. Everything is charged on our merchant account. We will take care of paying you, giving you your payout at the end of it, because your commission and markup are still the same as they were before. But basically now the service fee is on the whole fare to begin with. It's on the subtotal here, so it takes care. It's on everything. That's why it's like more important. It's a bigger service fee. But now there is only one charge on your customer's credit card. So the phone call and the explanation that was, what's that second charge, who's Agencia Global, etc. Now it's only like, who's Agencia Global? Oh, it's our wholesaler. Oh, great. And now your customer it's an easier conversation, and your customer don't ask as many questions. So so it's an option. It's what we call, it's our hide your markup tool. But it's a pretty cool feature that we created once after, with the feedback of our agents. Actually, they were telling us the issues that they had when they were working, and something that we put together for them. And the feedback has been very positive since it's been created. So it's an option for you. As you can see here, now is the time to pay. So as you can see, book and pay, obviously it's the option to book now. We also allow for hold the booking option. So the time vary, but usually it's like until 11 or 12 p.m. On the same day. In this case, it's until 10:59. So you can hold the booking, but you eventually have to pay within the same day, or else you lose the booking. For the purpose of this demonstration, we're just going to book and pay right now. Now, the second option that you have here that we ask you to choose is either single payment or multiple payment. Simple single payment is something you have to be used to because it's probably what you're doing right now. It's one credit card for all the passengers. So pretty standard stuff. Here, as you can see, it's already pre-filled. But let's say, we created this new tool again with the feedback of our customers. Here, if I click on multiple payments, there you go. As you can see, I had more options. So what it is that simply we divided each fare of our customers, and each fare, is you can add to each credit card. So as you can see here, I can just take each fare, put them on a different credit card, and at the bottom here, instead of having only one credit card as I had before, I have now the 4. So you can just fill all the credit cards information, and with no extra fee for your customers, you can just easily have them process the payments. And now you don't have them to fight over who has to pay and have the credit, or who else get the Air Miles points, etc. Everyone can easily get whatever they want. Now, by default, you get as many credit cards as you have passengers. So in our case, since we have 4 passengers, we get 4 credit cards. But let's say you have 2 couples and they want to pay with 1 credit card each, just select 2 and switch the fares. And there you go. You only have 2 credit cards to fill now. I will also mention that you might want to ask, can I divide, can I, split a fare, for passengers for whatever reason? No, you cannot. As of right now, Agencia solely offers you to put the fares in different credit cards. So let's say I could do like 3 in 1, whatever. But the fares per passengers have to stay like, together. You can't split a fare. So that's it. But for our example, I'm just going to select 1 credit card because I don't have the second one. But let's say I'm going to put my name. For those taking notes, you can take this credit card and note this credit card number because it's a fake one. So I'm sorry, no shopping for you, unfortunately. Billing address, okay, is great. So now, let's say you're happy with everything. You're happy with your markup, the way the payment has been handled and everything. So now it's time to just agree terms and conditions and book and pay. So now Agencia is just making a reservation and it's going to take a few seconds, but then you're just going to receive an email to confirm your reservation and with all the documents that you might need to give your customers or passengers. So while we wait, I'm just going to give a little shout out to our partner. As I was mentioning, we have an extra commission, an extra 5% commission on all the Air Europa flights for right now until March 31st. Why is it a big deal, 2020? Why are they so aggressive in the commission that they give and the sales that they currently have? It's because for the first time in over 10 years, they now have a year-round flight out of JFK. Historically, they were taking a break between, they did not fly during between January and March. But now again, because they have this year-round flight, including, between January and March, they have this commission to incentivize you to book. So if you feel like promoting Europe to your customers for, let's say, a little February break, when the winter is cold, feel free to think about Air Europa and get that 5% extra commission on bonus commission on your fares. Anyway, here is again, so here you see test booking because it's obviously a test booking, so you wouldn't have that, but the rest is what you would get. So once you're done, you get a booking confirmation page. You get your reference number that you can use to chat with us if you have an issue. You get obviously validating carrier, in this case Air Europa. You get PNR, airline record indicator, and then you get a recap of your itinerary. It's all the information that you had prior, but again, you get a reminder here with links, etc. Their families, all the information that you need, basically. Selection, documents. Here you have the documents to send your customers in English or in French, depending, because we are in Quebec. You also have the check-in information. So this is a link straight to Air Europa's website. If you want visa requirements because you're going to a different country, you can go. We have a link to go straight to Visa HQ for all the information. In our case, it's Spain. It's Europe. It's not very complicated. And finally, the billing information. Now, you might have noticed here that, oh, actually, did I receive? Yes, there you go. I did receive an email from Agencia Global. So that's something you will receive as soon as you make the reservation. It's an email from us with, again, your booking number and everything you need to access to it. So I'm just going to go back to Agencia Global, the homepage. No booking necessary. But if I go to bookings here, here's my current booking. I can also access this by just clicking this. If you click the link in your emails, you will automatically access the same booking information that I just had. So it takes a few seconds to retrieve the reservation, but there you go, you always have access. So at any time, you can have access to all the information that you need for your customers. So it's pretty cool. everything. And again, if you want to forward your information, we automatically create a PDF form with all the necessary information that you can just send to your customers. So that's pretty much it for Agencia Global. I guess I should just mention that I mentioned earlier that if you have any issues, you can easily contact us. So you can use the chat here. So for instance, if I had an issue, I would just say, oh, problem with, and then I put your booking reservation number here, so we can easily track it and see what issues you have, and so we can assist you. I will just mention that if it's after 5 p.m. Eastern time, it's going to automatically become an envelope. So that means that your message becomes an email that we'll treat as soon as possible, maybe the next day or overnight, depending on who's available to help you. But otherwise, it's a live chat. So, I think that's kind of it for me today. Once again, I'll encourage you to go check the Air Europa fairs, because they're very, very competitive, and as you can see, very aggressive in the commissions, the bonus commissions that they give the agents to really promote their flights to Europe, especially their flights to their hub in Madrid. They serve more than 40 European cities in Europe, and so I would really, really encourage you to take advantage of this great bonus commission that you can have only with Agencia Global right now. So come with us and book. I guess what I should show you is that it's fairly easy to register with us. That's why we encourage you to do it. So if you land on our page, you just go and register here. It's free. We just ask you to provide us with a certification number, whether it's IATA, ARC, TID, CLIA, T-code, TrueCode from CCRA, OPC, or whatever. And we'll just verify you, and that's it. The process is usually very short, and I think, we're pretty confident in our tool, and I think you'll be pretty pleased as soon as you try it out, considering the content and how easy it is to use. But now, if you have any questions, I'm open to any questions. Doug?
Great. Thank you, Thomas. One thing I did want to clarify, and I may have missed it at the beginning, in order for people to be eligible to win that pair of Air Europa tickets, they need to participate in this webinar. I believe they also need to register on your website and in your social media. Is that correct?
Yes. So let me take a look. So here I put my information. This is my name. This is my email address. If anyone has a question regarding Agencia or really anything regarding a website or platform, don't hesitate to contact me. So it's my first name dot last name at agenciaglobal.com. And yes, to win the prize, you just have to attend the webinar. So all the people who are here today, congrats on taking the first step. Then, as you can see, you just register for free on Agencia Global. Take a look. There is no commitment on Agencia Global. As soon as you register, if you don't like it, don't have to use it. Don't worry, we won't bother you. But we really think that everyone who uses it once will enjoy it. So just register, try it out, see for yourself. And yes, do like us on Facebook, whether it's Agencia Global, so our page, or Air Europa.
Perfect. I apologize. I didn't realize that slide was up. I had my questions box blocking it. So that's great. Great to confirm that information. Do have a couple questions for you. One of them was, well, they ask what city, I'm sure they're referring to Air Europa, what cities do they fly to? Do they fly out of Philadelphia or Baltimore?
So that's a great question. I do believe that in the US, they mostly fly out of JFK or Miami, which are the two airports on the East Coast. I don't have all the details, to be honest. I know for a fact that those are the two gateways that they're pushing. So all the commissions, they're on all their flights, but they're really trying all the sales. The big sales that they currently have are from JFK and Miami.
Fair enough. Great. Somebody's also asking, once a reservation is booked, what are the cancellation policies or fees?
I do believe that it depends on the time, right? It depends on the airline. Honestly, it's airline policies on this. I guess it's something I should have mentioned, but like every commission that you make, it's just for you. We don't make any commission on yours. So all the net fares are just nets. We don't take anything from it. Same for your commissions. So in terms of the fees, it's the same principle. If an airline, usually they have a 24 hours window, I believe, but again, it depends. So if the airline charges you something, unfortunately, we'll have to charge you something, but otherwise, we don't, charge you anything if there's no reason to.
Sure, that makes sense. Great. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions here. I did want to remind everybody that this webinar is being recorded. We will have it up on our website, www.jaxfax.com, jaxfax.com. That should be up early next week if you need to go back and review anything Thomas has gone over today. And with that, I think this is going to conclude the webinar. Thomas, thank you for a great presentation. Everyone, thank you for your participation today and taking the time to join us. I hope everyone has a great day, and we will talk to you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who participated, and thank you, Doug, for organizing everything.
Absolutely, happy to. Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.